welcome back to 52 Licks, another 52 Licks for 2020. We're going to do the last in our series, our little four-part series on Elvin Jones. If I don't stop here, the rest of the 52 Licks will all be Elvin Jones, so I'm going to limit this to only four. What we're going to focus on today is going to be kind of the big phrase at the very end that leads Coltrane back into the top of the melody on resolution. So this is kind of the finale. A lot of stuff he's got going on, and what's cool is the stuff that he has been playing this entire track, he kind of all puts back together in this cool way to finish this phrase out. So let's break down this lick. You guys aren't even ready for this. It's actually a 4-bar lick. It's not a 4-bar lick and then it's clearly a 4-bar phrase. It's a 3-bar lick with a little thing tacked on at the end, but hey, we'll take that extra bar when we can. The lick itself goes like this. We'll take it 1 bar at a time. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. It should sound familiar to you because it's a slight variation on some phrases he's been playing throughout the tune, including the one on the last lick that we did. So there should be some familiar stuff there, but notice it's not a copy. He's doing a few things in there a little bit different, which we'll get into in a minute. Let's go on to the second bar. The second bar is 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, all stuff we heard. Notice the little anticipation on the hi-hat that he gets in there. Again, everything I just played, these are phrases we've already heard, but he continues to mix them up in interesting ways. What I want you to take from it is that Elvin's language isn't necessarily, not that it can't be expansive, but he's done enough of his homework to find a grouping of phrases that really swing well, that really get his conception across, and there's enough of them that he can move in and out of them, and it will help us to kind of figure out what those phrases are, and then in our own ways kind of innovate on top of them or do our own version of them, personalize them, if you will. Let's move on to the third phrase. The third bar is going to continue with the last two triplets we played on beats 3 and 4, except this time it's going to resolve differently. 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's going to build off of that triplet pattern and then big crash on the and a 2 and then break away for a triplet-based drum fill down the kit. Notice when he gets to the end of the kit, what does he do there on that last beat? Recognize that from the one before? He's putting all this together in a really cool way. Then the last bar, right there is actually where Coltrane begins to play the melody out. And he's going to borrow from something he played earlier when Coltrane was playing the melody, which we addressed in the first lick in this 4-part series, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. That's almost note for note what he did the first time, and it's a great little, like I called it before, it's like a little coda or a little extension. After the big resolution, there's like all this tension that's built up with that big resolution, and then he finds a way to kind of it's almost like a release valve. So now let's put the whole phrase back together. 1, 2, 3. Really hip phrase. All right, let's dig into some of the things that make it unique beyond some of the stuff that I just mentioned. So what does Elvin do here in this first measure? He borrows from a phrase he's been playing throughout the song and a phrase that he's probably always played. And it's this idea, we talked about the 3 of a 3-2 clave, right? 1 and 4. So in this bar, he's going to play that same rhythm, but he's got slight variations of it, right? So instead of coming in on 1, he's going to anticipate on the and a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4. And to me, this is one of the things about Elvin's playing that I think easily gets glossed over. We focus on the triplets and right, oh, it's kind of cool stuff and all the stuff he did with Coltrane. But a lot of times, at least when I was transcribing him and still am, as I start stripping away all of the triplet stuff and I can kind of see through that, I find consistently just swinging rhythms that count Basie played, right? So what Elvin's doing isn't necessarily, there are no more beats in Elvin's 4/4 than there are in your 4/4 and my 4/4. He's not playing some weird cross rhythm 11/5, in the hi-hats, making bacon and eggs or something. It's nothing like that. All he's been able to do is keep grounded in these really swinging rhythms and then find these cool layers that can go on top of it, but without ever really losing sight of these really swinging rhythms. And that's, I think, where a lot of people can get a little off track, is if you get too much into the triplet soup, you can get lost in where is the pulse? Where is this going? And Elvin never lost that. So he plays 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4, right? Which kind of opens the phrase up. No triplets or nothing. 1, ba, boom, up, down, up, bass, snare, bass. That in and of itself sounds cool if we played it in like a more straight ahead fashion. That's hip in and of itself. Now the triplet barrage comes. First triplet, we've already heard this one. And here, again, we're going to sneak that hi-hat in. This time it's not a flam like it was the first time. This time it's just on the and. And then once he gets into that triplet cycle, he builds and builds to the and of 2. So... And that really is the big release before Elvin comes. Just right down before Coltrane resolves resolution. Wow, that's a weird pun I didn't mean. So right down the drums. Then he's going to tack on what he did earlier in the tune that we addressed in the first lick. So to me, what he's doing on resolution, if we really zero in, and I just picked some stuff that I thought was interesting. There's a lot more like this. You're going to hear a lot of the same language, and I mean that in a good way. Again, he's not playing anything from outer space. A lot of it is the phrasing. How loud is he playing his notes? Where are those triplets going? Not only dynamically, right, texturally, how loud are they? But also, where are they going in terms of the big rhythmic accents? Backing up. 2, 3, 4, 1, right? So he's got these big pulses that he's built all this stuff around. Having an understanding of beat by beat ways to play like Elvin, and then measure by measure or phrase by phrase plays like Elvin, will give you a really, I think, a pretty in-depth look into his playing. And then, of course, from there, it's taking those ideas for ourselves and putting them in our own playing. Maybe we don't do them like Elvin. Maybe they're not so triplet-based. You can take all the triplets away from Elvin, and his badassery will still stand tall just based on his swing and ride cymbal and where he's hitting those hits. And obviously just grooving with Coltrane's band, if nothing else, in terms of building intensity and understanding tension and release. Okay, hope you guys enjoyed this little mini break on Elvin. Remember, the PDF will have all of this in there, all 4 of these licks, as well as little exercises, some of these little tangents I'm getting off on. Some of that will be explained in the PDF. Hope you enjoy it. We'll see you on the next one. Good luck.